So Shakur and Coach Kenny Ellis, they go at it today and trade words. We're going to talk about what was said. We're going to break all this down in this video. But before we do that, make sure you hit my like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's cook on this. Before I start this video, I got a message for all of the public. If y'all want me to send you a complimentary box of tissues, drop your addy in the comments. Listen, drop your addy in the comments and I will send you a complimentary box of tissues for all the crying you finna be doing. Shakur and Coach Kenny Ellis, man, they going at it, trolling each other, going back and forth, trading insults right now. But, man, let's talk about the situation because I'm going to just keep it a buck, man. Shakur, he put Kenny Ellis's daughter in a situation and kind of clown the fact that she's 7-3, but you continue to focus on me. If you focused on your daughter, maybe she wouldn't be 7-3, and a lot of people feel now that Shakur is going too far. But where did this all start from? Well, you wake up, soon as Kenny Ellis gets up, the first thing on his mind, and it's been like this daily now, the first thing on his mind is to go, insult Shakur Stevenson. So what he does, he puts up a post on his Instagram and clowns the fight that Shakur has coming up with Joe Cordina, saying, oh yeah, this is a great fight. Y'all go buy your tickets, just trolling him. If you so worried about Shakur and you're talking about him every day, you're on interviews talking about him, right? Clowning him, putting him down. Why didn't y'all send him a contract, right? Now, I can understand if Gervonta Davis had sent him a contract and he turned it down and then turned around and fought a Joe Cordina, then I can understand, man. I would be on his helmet and everybody would, right? Because I'm not no fanatic fan that think that if I like a fighter, if I think a fighter is good, they can do no wrong. A lot of y'all be on that ish, man. And let's make this clear. This video is not about Gervonta Davis. This video is about Shakur Stevenson and Kenny Ellis, right? So I'm talking about Kenny. I'm not talking about Tank Davis. And so after Kenny, right, came out and said what he said about Shakur, he comes back and he puts up Mia Ellis's record. That's Kenny Ellis's daughter, right? And she's 7-3 right now. And he basically said, look, man, you focused on me. You need to be focused on training your daughter, because if you was focused on her, she wouldn't have a record of 7-3. Now people crying because Shakur clapped back. Now, honestly, was he in the right or was he in the wrong? Let's keep it real. Me, myself, I wouldn't have brought Kenny's daughter in it, right? Because she's her own individual person. She didn't have nothing to do with what's going on between Shakur and Kenny, right? She's her own individual person. And honestly, I haven't heard her say nothing about nobody. So I wouldn't have done no shit like that. I wouldn't have put Mia Ellis's record up and clowning her because she didn't have nothing to do with it. So I don't think Shakur should have done that. But at the end of the day, right at the same time, it's like you keep on poking him, you keep on making fun of him, you keep on trying to bully him, right? Now it's kind of like everything is off limits. When I get back at you, when I clap back at you, right? Everything is off limits. That's how he taking it. And the thing is, man, Kenny Ellis is too old to be acting like this, right? I see now a lot of these coaches that used to be in the background, that used to just focused on doing what they paid to do, they're getting a lot of buzz from the internet. And the internet is the devil, right? The internet is like a drug, because I see like coaches like Kenny Ellis, man, they loving the attention that they getting. So every day he's playing right into what these trolls and the rest of these young fans do, right? The thing now is to clown and troll Shakur Stevenson and to bully him online, or try to bully him online, right? Because he ain't letting nobody bully him, but try to bully him online and insult him. And Kenny Ellis gets a kick out of that. So he feeds into that, right? And he adds on to that. and I continue to see this, and I'm like, bro, you 50-something years old. That's weird to me. That's weird for a 50-something-year-old man to be acting like that. But like I said, the internet is a drug, man. People like when they start getting the following on the internet, and they don't know how to control themselves, man. And so, yeah, man, it's at the end of the day, if you clowning who he's fighting, why didn't y'all send him a contract, right? And another thing, man, people let Kenny do and say whatever without giving him any backlash for it, right? If Kenny does something, oh, it's funny, Kenny just trolling. But if Bill did it, Bill Haney did the same thing, right? When he was doing the shit, right? Bill Haney a effing liar. He a liar. He this and he that. Well, if Bill is a liar, which he do lie about a lot of ish, why Kenny ain't a liar? Why is what Kenny does, he's just trolling? Like when Kenny came out and did a quick interview and said, oh, well, we want to fight Shakur, but he ain't going to sign it. Sign what? So you put out to the world and tried to insinuate that you sent Shakur a contract, which you didn't. That's a flat out lie. And let's talk about, a lot of people got a problem with Shakur's next opponent, Joe Cordina, right? And I've stated my opinion on it. I'm not enthused because he fighting Joe Cordina. Do I think that's a big threat to Shakur? No. But at the end of the day, who else was he going to fight? Who else was he going to fight? Tank didn't send him no contract. Williams Zepeda pulled out. All the rest of the guys ducked him. He can't fight nobody on Top Rank because he left Top Rank, so they're not going to let him fight any of their guys. So who else was Shakur Stevenson supposed to fight? Name an opponent, right? Because I hear people say, oh man, he could have rematched De La Santos. Why he ain't rematched De La Santos? Y'all have not once heard De La Santos call for a rematch with Shakur Stevenson. So you want Shakur Stevenson to chase down Edwin De La Santos, beg De La Santos for a rematch when he beat the man with one hand? But you haven't heard Edwin De La Santos say nothing about Shakur Stevenson? And don't say that, oh, well, man, he ain't said nothing to nobody. No, because when Edwin wanted to fight Shakur, he was calling him out on the internet for a long, long time, right? Going to his neighborhood, calling him all type of names, saying he was ducking him. But now, after he fought Shakur and seeing that Shakur beat him with one hand, you ain't heard Edwin De La Santos call for a rematch not one time. So you mean to tell me that y'all want Edwin De La Santos to do something that he don't even want to do? These are facts. Somebody send me something that Edwin De La Santos is calling for a rematch with Shakur Stevenson. Then we could go, people saying Frank Martin, right? Well, how is he supposed to fight Frank Martin when Frank Martin, you ain't heard a peep from him, really, right? Frank Martin just got knocked out by Gervonta Davis, and Frank Martin ducked Shakur Stevenson before he even had any idea that he was ever even going to get a Gervonta Davis fight. Matter of fact, him and Shakur started negotiating to fight each other when Tank was still locked up, I believe. He said that himself. He said at that point in time, he had no idea or know nothing about a Tank fight. Said that wasn't even on his mind. So that had nothing to do with him ducking Shakur Stevenson, because a lot of y'all saying things like, oh man, how can you duck Shakur for Tank? Y'all timeline is way, way off. So y'all got to make this make sense to me. Who did y'all want to see Shakur fight? Who is available right now that's willing to fight Shakur Stevenson that he was supposed to fight? See, every time I ask that question, I get crickets. Y'all can't name one opponent, right? Realistic opponent. Y'all can't come up with one. But crying and complaining because he picked Joe Cordina, a fighter that was actually willing to fight him. So what y'all expect Shakur to do, let me get this right, is you want him to sit on the shelf, watch Gervonta Davis take a fight, watch William Zepeda take a fight, and just sit around and not get no money, right, while they fighting, and wait on one of them to fight next, right? I mean, y'all got to make this make sense. And stop acting like Joe Cordina is a bum. A lot of y'all don't know nothing about boxing. It's crazy because I'm looking at a lot of y'all comments and listening to some of y'all, and y'all didn't even know who Joe Cordina was or is. The man been a champion, was a champion at 130 pounds for a minute. He was dominating for a while, and he messed around and got knocked out his last fight. But before that, Joe Cordina was a big name in the UK. Still is a big name in the UK. So like I said, I'm not clapping because he's fighting Joe Cordina, but I mean, it's better than staying inactive. Shakur just fought in July, right? Just fought in July, and now he's getting to turn around, get a bag again, and fight like 3 months later. That's what all these fighters want, man. All these fighters that's really like that, they want to stay active. These fighters don't be wanting to sit on the shelf and wait a whole year, year and a half between fights, man. It's good that Shakur is being able to stay active, right? It ain't stopping nothing. It ain't like Tank was finna fight him next. So he just fought in July, fighting again in October, and then he'll be ready in February or whenever. Putting him right in line to still fight Tank Davis next or William Zepeda, you know, if Tank don't want that fight next. So, I mean, yeah, man, he right in line. He doing what he should be doing. Anyway, as far as Kenny Ellis, man, you know, hey, man, me personally, I think you too old to be, you know, continuing to poke at this dude on the internet all the time. But it shows me that y'all know that he's a threat, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to tear him down before Gervonta Davis ever have to get in the ring with him. That's why you keep poking at him. You ain't never did this to nobody else but Shakur Stevenson. So we see what it is. Anyway, y'all smash my like button. For the haters, hit the thumbs down. Y'all already know how I do. Diego talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.
I need a ladder for. Come up in your hood stunting when